Oh, look. It's not streaming. What happened? Not mine.
Is it mine?
Oh, yours. You were fixing your hair.
Yeah, I was fixing my hair.
Anthony.
Well, it looks a little weird right now, doesn't it?
Anthony is not talking.
Huh?
But let me start. We had some drops today. Drop frames. Literally.
I've been very passionate today about the rule changes because I wouldn't call it arguing with people. I'm going to say correcting. I'm not loud.
Let me see your mic. It's pointing towards your thing. The shirts, you have to stop wearing those bowling shirts.
I wasn't supposed to be on stream today.
Just mute that for a second. We have a stream tonight. Diogo's coming by. We're going to play 10th edition. We're going to be talking about 11th edition.
Right.
Because some changes came in. And they're, I think, going to be overall good changes. So far, the changes that are happening, people are freaking out. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Some things are going to suffer. Like, I do believe non-flying melee is going to have a little bit of a harder time getting to the target. We're going to talk about all that right now. First, let's bring up, can we pop up the rules that were announced? Can Justin just share those? You can just clip those, yeah.
If he saves the picture, he can.
Okay, Justin, just bring up the charging differences we have right now. So the main rule difference right now is, let me see your audio. No. Try?
How about now? So you click the button once. Clip all this out when we go to the video after. Okay, what about
Can you
now?
hear it? There you go. Anthony was muted. All right.
So
the way charging works now, how it used to work, you go to overhead. It's your mic's hitting the fabric there. That's what it is. It cannot be mine. No. Justin's getting ear flashbangs.
Cut all this out after. Okay, now the wire's straight. Should I switch mics? Yeah, I'm gonna unplug it. You keep talking.
Okay, do you hear it while his is unplugged? You hear the noise? Okay. So let me talk about this while Anthony gets changed. This is how it's going to work. Back in 10th, or right now, if you make a charge and it's 7.3, you round down. So a 7.3 charge becomes a 7-inch charge. If you're coming out of deep strike at 9.1, obviously you're charging 9 inches. That's how it worked. Now we're rounding upwards. So an 8.1 becomes a 9-inch charge, which is really bad for melee armies. Here's what's going to make it a little worse of a nerf. Engagement range goes to 2 inches, which means you could ever only get 2 inches to a model. You can only be 2.1 away, which is a big difference, instead of being 1.1. Essentially, if you roll snake eyes, it's always a fail now. So we're going towards AOS, basically. A lot for certain situations, like if you talk about Grizzled Company, for example. Is it Grizzled that has it? Recon Guard. They're going to have reactive moves. So if you're like a World Eater's army and you're trying to come forward, you can only come within 2. They're going to have a 6-inch reactive, or is it D6?
How's my mic? So in Recon Guard, if you're platoon, it's a flat 6-inch reactive move.
Okay, so flat 6. Now we're talking about 2-inch charge becoming an 8-inch charge. Now let's make it even worse. Let's make it a little more worse.
Actually.
2.13 goes to a 9. Yeah, no, it has to be a 9 because it's 3 actually.
And not even that, Tango Foot Grenade.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, for armies that can make you reduce your charge, I can do -2 charge on them now. All of a sudden, a 3-inch charge is becoming a 10 or 11-inch charge.
Which isn't that different from now because it's a 10-inch. That can happen now, I think. But the bigger difference is before. If you were this far out from someone.
No, it's worse. It's worse than that. Because you're losing 1 inch because of the charge, the way it works now. Plus your 2-inch engagement, so it's going to be 2 inches.
Yeah.
So a 9-inch turns into an 11-inch.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And before, I just want to make it clear with how it works now.
Yeah.
If you are just over an inch away from someone, even if you're -8 to the charge, If you roll snake eyes, you make it in because you can't reduce a
I
roll
already
below
mentioned that.
1.
I already mentioned that. It's minimum 3 now to charge.
You can't reduce a roll below 1.
Yeah, you can't make a 2-inch charge essentially anymore. It's impossible because you're 2.1 inches away. Here's some of the things people are kind of going overboard with now. Screening is not going to change as much as you guys think, okay? Yes, you can walk through models. So this is another thing here, if you want to get some close-ups here. Models right now, models cannot walk through.
These might be a better example.
In 10th edition. Well, we'll use this right now. Models, so this is 2-inch engage. This is what you can do right now. You can still do it in 11th. You can string out 2 inches away from everybody. The only difference is coherency, keeping coherency like this, and Anthony will show you some tricks you can do as well. I'll show you a few and he'll show you some. Coherency-wise, if you were in 10th edition, you're 1 inch away like this, it would, and you wanted to get to this chappy back here,
can't make it.
You literally cannot go through these because every single model is going to be going in within 1 inch engagement. Simple stuff, right? Now, it's 2 inch, but they give you a little bit of an advantage here. Models that move through other models can go through engagement.
Everyone can go through engagement.
Everyone can go through engagement.
In the movement phase.
In the movement phase. So it's not going to care that you're going within 2 inches, going past them, as long as you finish your move 2 inches away from everything. More than 2 inches away from everything, which is good. So you can't screen as easy. What does that mean? It means you have to get a little bit closer, which is common sense, to get a little bit closer so the base can't actually go through the bases, right? As you see there, he can't go through those 2 bases without touching or going over them. Can't do it. But we came up with another thing. You know what's even better? How about I keep that same coherency of 2 inches, but I do this. I just stagger like this, right? Now you're coming in within 2. From right here, even with 10 inches, to get to this guy right here, back here, it's almost impossible to stay out of 2 inches. And I'm using a unit.
That moves 10.
I'm using a unit that moves 10 inches, and that's 10 inches. So
this is one of the few units, 8-bound, that are benefiting from this walk-through engagement change.
So you can see, I can literally get one model right here out of the 2-inch range. And I don't even know if he came from him. Okay. So this guy's out of range. Both of these guys cannot get out of 2-inch range. 2 guys cannot reach out. And I'm staying 2 inches. I'm taking up the same amount of space. Not as much as if I went like this. But I can still screen, keep a lot of coherency, like range and coherency. Just be thicker. Thick.
And now to walk through you, they have to zigzag through instead of walking a straight line.
Exactly. And then you lose a lot of movement. It becomes very tough. So this is definitely a way to do it. Just zigzagging your deployment like that. Not deployment, your movement phase. So you're going to see a lot of this in 11th edition. I guarantee it, because being wider is very important. You got to remember, you have 2 inches on each side of you, and models cannot end there. So just because I can physically walk through here does not mean I can end through here. This is an elite example, because one of the fastest units you can get on foot.
Without fly.
That has a small base.
It's the fastest on foot without fly on a small
Fly
base.
doesn't matter. I just walk over you.
Yeah, that's why. Fly don't really care about the changes outside of less area.
Death Company's going to get 2 inches and fly right over you, advanced charge, do whatever the hell they want. That's why I said at the beginning, this is going to affect non-flying infantry units.
So world eaters.
And world eaters are screwed. And
custodians custodians are really bad now. Or not bad, they're really screwed. Because they move 6 inches.
So we're going to talk about things that have benefits for these guys. That's going to make them better, because they do have stuff that makes them good in melee. But for anybody that thinks this is going to help world eaters, it's going to really make your life a living hell when it comes to the movement phase. If you're not good in the movement phase with world eaters, you're going to suffer very hard in 11th edition unless you change some of these things. Let's go over it.
You might have to go over the most common example.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to that side if you don't mind, because they're there.
What do you want to do? Oh, with these guys?
Yes, with the assault and
okay, go ahead, overhead.
So
we got a comment.
Yeah.
Trusty Roids, he started in 10th and he's asking, do you think that shooting armies will be a disadvantage in this edition?
Absolutely not. Okay, so we've been in chat all day with this is what we do. And whoever's telling you shooting armies are going to be at a disadvantage is wrong. They're going to be still very good. The only thing that's going to get affected is movement for melee armies that are on foot, like that don't fly, like we said. In the move with the movement shenanigans, charging is going to go down a little bit. It's not going to be, even though they give you a buff that you can roll now and then select your target, you're going to have trouble with the rounding up. It's a lot worse. Trust me, 1 inch is a lot. So,
especially going from a 7 to an 8.
Yeah, when you don't have +1 to charge right now, it's gonna make you suffer. Shooting armies are gonna have a better chance of not getting charged. You're going to have a better chance to create a bubble around you. You're not going to get those instant charges like people right in your face at 1 inch and nothing you can do about it. It's going to be a little harder and with the bubble. So I think shooting armies will be just fine.
So here I have the most common example you're probably going to see in the game.
Yeah.
A 32 millimeter unit against a 32 millimeter unit.
Only ending just outside of 2 inches.
This is, if for some reason this guy walked up in this zipper pattern, in front of the opponent. So the best scenario these assault intercessors can get to leave engagement range, to walk past through.
Right.
They move 6.
This is something I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to see this in 11th edition by good player. Like,
this is not realistic.
This is not a realistic setup. No tournament player that plays to a high level will set up a unit like this. Anthony's going to show you.
This is the best case scenario.
Yes, Anthony's going to show you what the best case scenario is for the way the movement phase is set up right now.
2 inches away from this guy is over here, right? If this unit were to walk up 6 inches exactly, he would make it to here, right? But the issue with that is now he is, his base didn't clear it. So to go straight 6 inches exactly and make it 2 out, you have to go from the back of the base, which goes to here. And what is that? I think it's about 5.5 or 5 3/4 is what your movement is to get from here to here in a straight line and not land in engagement range. So if you do anything at all that we showed you before, this normal unit cannot walk from here to here in a straight line. So it's a 5.5 inch bubble or 5 3/4 bubble from a 32 millimeter base from one end to the other. 2 inches is a massive amount to walk through. You know what's one way of stopping that? Instead of walking in this zipper pattern, I just match them directly forward. And now they have to use some amount of movement to go like this instead of a straight line. And if it takes more than 1/4 inch of movement to go like this, they cannot end outside engagement range and can't finish the move here, and they're stuck on this side. So it's still very possible to do a maximum width screen. And he showed with the world leaders, like the 8-bound, oh look, 8-bound can easily clear this. So what do? Oh, there's this width of their base. Just go like this. Now they can't walk through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
it's a little bit tighter. Use like 1 inch on each side. But don't forget, terrain is still a thing. You can play around terrain because they can't walk through here now. Yeah. So there's still options to play through. There's still ways to screen. And if anything, it's harder for melee armies to move now.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to show the zigzag pattern for that as well, for a normal Marine, if you zigzag,
if you were to go
same thing,
something like this, I have a 2 inch marker here exactly. I've been thinking up scenarios all day. If you look at this zigzag pattern here, what is this Marine going to do? He moves only 6 inches. Where is he going to go? 6 inches gets to here, or to here, or to here. That's still in engagement range. He has to make it to back here, which to go in a line like that is like a 10.
Yeah. So you remember, use that bubble you have. It's not so much about the gap. Don't focus about this because everybody's focusing on this. Like, I got to get so tight. You don't always have to do that. You can use this 2 inch engagement coherency to your advantage and just become as thick as you can. Imagine a 10-man unit, how thick you could get. You don't need to screen out longwise anymore. You can screen out thickwise and just let this unit get nowhere.
Because the 2 is in front of you and behind you.
Exactly.
It's a bubble.
And a guard unit is 10 models, right?
It is a 25 millimeter base, which is smaller.
It doesn't matter. It's a
but
lot
you
of
have
bodies.
more bodies with a 2 inch bubble.
2 inch. You can go back 4 inches. Marines cannot move through that. It's impossible. So screening is still very, very much a thing. Don't let people make you think that screening's dead or you can't screen as much. It's still very, very possible to screen very well.
This is also assuming the opponent is in a straight line like
exactly,
this.
Which nobody's
more
going
realistically, they're more like this or something,
yes.
right? Which means, how's this guy going to clear to there now?
Exactly. Nobody's going to come at you in a straight line. That's just for examples.
Like,
so we can
in the most perfect scenario possible, it's almost impossible to go through. Well, imagine in a real game.
You're not going to see screens like this anymore. This is the biggest difference. You're not going to see screens like this. Okay? You want to see a close-up?
I'm still going to do straight line screens.
You're not going to see screens like this. Okay? You're going to see screens more like this.
It also depends who you fight.
Yes. But that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that. You're going to see a scattered screen that makes it as hard as possible for you to go back here. Look at this 2-inch bubble here. Look at this. Look at this 2-inch bubble, and then go from there. You literally can't land here.
Yeah, this is 3.5 inches.
I can make it so you cannot land here. Screening is still very much a thing. So don't let anybody tell you that it's going to be easy for melee armies to get through. World Eaters are going to suffer tremendously. Any melee army.
I'd say most importantly, adapt to the opponent. If I'm fighting Tau, I can do a straight line screen. If I'm fighting World Eaters and they're 8-bound spam,
yeah, it's gonna
I need to zigzag.
Yep.
I need to tighten up my formation. It all depends who I'm fighting. It's not just, this is what I do in every scenario.
I hope everybody understands what we're talking about with the 2-inch bubble, because like, if you can just understand here.
I just printed a 2-inch. That's 1 inch. I just printed a 2-inch.
You got me a 2-inch?
Yeah, I just printed it.
Please. Here's a 2-inch right here. So for people that are not getting it, like that want to see it visually, some people want to see visual. So here's 2 inches from this guy. There's 2 inches. Here's 2 inches. Where is it? Is there a 2-inch on this one? Yes, there is.
There's a 2-inch on there.
So they're overlapping, right?
That means no one can land there.
I can make it so that you literally have to fight here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's why, like, you were saying fly.
Not even fly works there.
Yeah, you were saying fly is still really good. That's less area you can land.
That's way less area. You literally can't land here. You can't do anything here. This guy is unchargeable at this point, unless you can go around and charge.
Another option is rapid ingress to help.
Yes.
But if you looked at the new GW maps, if you could get one of those, Justin. The back line, the behind the home is very, very open, right? Yeah. What does that mean? If you want to rapid ingress into my back line because I walked up, it is completely open in the back. Yeah. I will shoot you. Yeah. If you do a normal deep strike, which is now 8 inches, but still a 9-inch charge, which we should probably explain.
We will talk about
that. You're now banking on a 9-inch. Yeah. Do you want to bank on a 9-inch? 24% chance.
Meltas will be used again, so you can deep strike 8. You can deep strike 8 inches. If you have Melta, it's amazing. You can just use your stuff right now. That's gonna be so good. Coming within 8, but it's 8.1, which turns into a 9. So you still have. Remember, we're rounding up when it's not a hard number. Like if it's not an 8, if it's an 8.1, you're going to 9 for your charge.
Since you're measuring base to base.
Base to base, yes. And then you got to stay out of 2. Coherency, not coherency, but engagement range only matters for fighting. The 2-inch, you don't have to, like, some people are thinking, oh, but if you're 2-inch engagement, that means I only have to make a 7-inch charge because I'm going to get, it doesn't work like that.
Someone
you have
said
to base
6-inch, and I'm like, how the hell did you get 6?
No, you have to base. You have to base.
So if you want to show a real example, these models in current are 5.5 apart. What do you need?
6.
In current edition.
Oh, 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
But if you measure base to base, which is separate them a bit, it's, let's say 5.5.
6.
You have to measure from base to
it
base.
It goes from a 5 to a 6. Trust me, especially the higher you go, that 1 inch becomes, that 1 millimeter, that what?
Millimeter.
1 millimeter? It's not a millimeter.
It's 8.0001.
Whatever, 8.001.
Because you have to make it to the base.
You have to be exactly 8, yeah.
You don't have to base, actually.
Yeah.
You do not have to base when you charge, as long as you make the distance. You only have to end within an inch, if able.
You have to end within an inch, but you have to still make the 9-inch charge. Like if you're outside of, if you're 8.1, it's a 9.
Yes.
It's not, you don't count the 1 inch
It's
anymore.
a big deal for piling that you're no longer forced to base.
Right. The next thing we want to talk about?
Overrun.
What's that?
Overrun.
Overrun. So.
Overran, whatever it's called.
Overrun. This is how it works. I'll show you one scenario. Okay? We have a rhino. We have a rhino. Go overhead, please. Rhino. You're going to get a Lord on Juggernaut here, charging the rhino. We have Jason Momoa riding a shark with a laser. We made this for him. Aquaman. He's charging. We're going to say it's a demon prince, whatever. These ladies over here, Sisters of Battle, are in the Rhino. This is similar to the example that we saw.
It's almost the exact same, yeah.
Yeah, this is similar to the example we saw GW give us. This guy here is going to fight the Rhino first. The Rhino blows up. Let's just say that. The Rhino blows up. These ladies pop out 3 inches. That happens first. It doesn't blow up. He kills the Rhino. Poof. They pop out. They're within 3. They're going to obviously go as far away as possible. This is as far as they can get. This guy goes away. The Lord on Juggernaut has not fought. He charged. He's allowed now to activate 3 inches like current edition. Like the current edition, he gets to move 3 inches into them. He does a double pile-in move. So it's just a double pile. Because piling in happens initially now, everything happens at once. So when you charge, this is probably not the greatest example.
Probably use multiple models.
Let's use this. These guys. This is not the best example one-on-one.
Probably.
Just like this. No, he's fine because he's just going to knock. He's just basically killing.
Okay.
So the Demon Prince attacks, kills. This goes away. They pop out. And what ends up happening is they move 3 inches.
Yes.
They move 3 inches. They get into base. Whoever bases bases, whoever's in 2 inches gets to fight. And they're going to wipe the sisters out. Now here's how it works now. I'm going to use something different than a Rhino now. I'm going to use this squad right here. And yes, and this is, again, we're just hypothetically talking about this. We're not saying that these guys can't kill 5 Marines or 10 Marines or whatever's left here.
Everything's in a void to show you examples.
Yes.
It's not realistic to a real game, but.
So, again, same shit. This Demon Prince is going to fight first. He's going to kill. He whiffed, right? Anthony rolled the dice.
First, everybody piles in.
Everybody piles in all at once, yes. So everybody piles.
World Eaters pile in. Momoa piles in. And then the opposite player piles in.
And then you pile in. So it'll go like this. The same rules apply. You have to go towards the closest enemy model. So these guys would stay like that. This guy would get closer to the Demon Prince. Now, can you get an angle from that side? Because it's a little bit better. This is how it's going to change a little bit from 10th. 10th edition, like we said, this guy wipes out a bunch of stuff. Let's say he kills 3 models. In 10th edition, what you can do here is activate this unit now. You lost these 3 models, right? These 3 guys go away. What ends up happening now is this one model gets to move 3 inches and activate. And look what happens. This guy's not based anymore either. He can move towards both. Touch. He's touching his buddy, plus here. All of a sudden, I can put attacks into the sisters. I can put attacks into these guys. That's 10th edition.
Yes.
That's very simple in 10th edition. Now, this is why World Eaters, I'm having a conversation with Rip, Shy Guy, Devin. I was having a conversation with him today. He's like, shit got really better for...
If you need it.
Huh?
If you need it.
Yeah, throw it up. He can throw it over there for people to see if he has it. I was talking to Devin today, and he's playing World Eaters. A lot of World Eaters players think this is going to be a good change. I don't agree with them because if you're in this situation, as we spoke about, and this Demon Prince kills, first of all, you can pull wherever you want. The player does not have to pull here, but it doesn't really matter in 11th edition at all. Let's say you kill 4 guys. 1, 2. Let's say you kill 5 guys with the Demon Prince. 5 guys die. Let's say you kill 6 guys. Okay? This unit is stuck. This World Eater unit is stuck. It has to fight into here. It cannot pile in. It cannot move. If you're not in engagement range anymore, guess what, Anthony?
These 2 guys can't fight anymore.
Nobody can fight. That's it.
But now, as we have the rule up there, for current 11th.
No, this is 11th.
Oh, if one guy survives, that's what Kenny was talking about.
Yes, so if this unit cannot activate and pile again, they cannot activate and pile 3 inches.
Just that one guy can fight with it.
2 guys. This one guy is based, and I guess this guy, if he's not based, then he doesn't get to fight. If they're touching, here's another thing. Sorry for going all over the place. touching models when you charge is going to become very, very important in 11th edition, because for that reason alone, if you don't get to fight, if these guys, if I pull from here, from this side of the base here, these guys are not base to anything anymore. This guy's definitely not fighting anymore. He's done.
Guaranteed.
If this guy, you don't touch this guy to this base, guess what? You lose another 5 or 6 attacks or whatever he has. Touching base to base is going to be so important when you charge now. Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing that's going to make them less lethal in combat. And this is why GW is making combat less lethal in general. These guys have to now fight onto 2 guys. You lose this pile-in. Yeah. You lose the whole pile-in ability until you kill the entire unit. If this Demon Prince wiped out the squad, then it just reverts back to 10th edition, and these guys get to make their 3-inch pile because they did charge and they get to activate.
Which is the overrun rule that we have.
That is what overrun is. So if you kill this first unit, they can overrun, basically getting a second pile-in. Because like we said, the first pile-in happens all at once. Everything piles in at once. You and the opponent. If you want this overrun rule, you must wipe that first unit. So
this is very old world NAOS.
It's very old world. And positioning is incredibly important. Like where you want to put this guy. Like if you make a 7-inch charge on this guy, maybe coming here is really important, right? Because if you really don't think you can wipe a unit like that, you might want to pile in with this guy and use them to put their shitload of attacks in there. This is all situational. I'm just letting people. I'm trying to explain to people that this is a nerf to melee.
I believe it could also have the opposite effect of if I charge you with and you kill me.
Yeah.
And I multi-charged, you can now overrun me, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That is possible, and. Yeah, that's overrun. It is not a buff for melee armies. I can tell you that right now. You have to completely wipe the unit out.
I decided to look at a guard chat today, and the first thing I saw was shooting is dead. Tau, Sisters, Guard, and Eldar are going to suffer.
Why?
Because they're like, shooting is dead because of the hidden rule in the first turn. The lurking hidden.
Yeah.
And then, melee is super buff now. It's impossible to fail a charge. It's impossible to screen. It's impossible to do this.
No.
And I'm like, the complete opposite is going to happen. Shooting is going to probably be not better.
Not better.
But Recon Guard, I think, is going to be very oppressive, as the rules we know of them now.
They're going to get nerfed.
Hopefully. The biggest nerf is no one wants to play them.
Yeah.
But melee is now, there's always a chance to fail if you don't have a bonus, which was not a thing before. There's less area to land on, bigger area to screen with against flying melee units, and a more open backline, so rapid ingress is less safe. And yes, lurking is a thing in the first turn. Yeah. But what's the most common range for shooting?
It's only turn 1 lurking is possible.
I don't think it's just turn 1. It's until you use the unit.
Yeah, until you use them. But it has to be only infantry, right? Infantry in certain units.
Infantry, I think, always get it in turn 1, while vehicles get it if they're in terrain.
Right.
If I understand it correctly.
Yeah.
But what's the most common range that shooting happens in this game from your experience of playing this edition?
What's the most common what?
Like, what's a pretty common range of shooting? Are you usually shooting from 20, 30, 40 inches away?
Sometimes.
But how often?
With my Forge Fiends, my big tanks.
But even that usually ends up being pretty close due to how terrain
15 inches. You can get within 15 very easily.
If you deploy, like if you're one of those people that think melee is going to be amazing right now, if you think melee is going to be amazing this edition, or 11th, and you deploy on the line thinking you're not going to get shot, that you're safe from shooting, you have the lone op thing, most units that can shoot can move at least 10 inches, anything worth its salt. If you deploy on the line, the most common distance is 24 inches apart. You will be shot turn 1 if you deploy on the line and go second. And if you go first, well, you just walked closer, and now they could walk towards you and shoot you. Like, you are not immune to being shot this edition, and your charges are not guaranteed to go off anymore. You're not safe from shooting.
No.
The furthest distance is 24 inches apart for deployment.
Yeah.
Search and destroy is 18 inches. If you are deploy on the line and search and destroy, just have to move 3 inches to shoot you.
Yeah, it's not going to be, I mean, it's going to give a little bit of cover for units. It's not going to be as easy for stuff to get shot turn 1, which is good.
Yes.
I think.
It's a big hit to indirect.
You're going to put, going on your natural expansion, as people like to say. You go on your natural expansion with, I don't know, infiltrators. You can't just shoot them across the board and get an angle on them in a building. You know what I'm saying? So things like that are going to be good for the game. Does it kill shooting? No. Shooting's going to be still very good.
Shooting might not be as good.
It'll take a knock, but
But I think Melee's getting knocked as well.
so
which
is
is a fair
Melee,
trade-off.
exactly. It's a fair trade, and also like things are not going to die as easily in combat. You're not going to be able to charge everything you want to automatically anymore. Yeah, and you're going to have to, there is some buffs to charging with the roll first and then choose where you want to go, but it's very easy to fail charge twice.
It could also
even.
backfire.
Yeah, exactly. There's a 12-inch charge for you. I just wasted it.
So stop the doom and gloom and the doom posting and the doomerism.
Yeah.
And don't break your models over this.
People are breaking their models. That pissed me off. I saw somebody smash an Angron today. I didn't actually see it, but I got posted it.
Before today, everyone's like, Melee's going to be Giga OP in 11th. They released this rule today. Oh my God, Melee is dead. GW has been doing this for what, 30, 40 years now?
Yeah.
They have the game down to a science. Everything out by the end it's gonna feel very similar to now. Everything's gonna math out to be similar in the end. So it might be played differently, but it's gonna end up with the same result.
We all listen. Nobody wants, everybody has a lot of stakes in what they play in their army. They put a lot of time and effort into making it and designing the way they want to play it. And then changes suck. But guess what? When we play online games as well, meta shifts. Changes have to be made to make it fresh, to make it playable and long lasting. Otherwise, people are already getting burnt out at 10th. It's you've got to change it a little bit. My point is, just because something's not as good now, you can change and do something else that's different. Is shooting dead? It's not going to be as effective.
I think it'll be as effective.
I don't think so. I don't think Space Marines are going to be nuking things anymore. Oath of Moment's not going to just nuke shit off the table anymore.
The cover changes are...
You're -1 to hit.
-1 ballistic skill.
-1 ballistic skill. You can do smoke. So you're -2 now. Space Marines are going to be hitting on 5s, rerolling everything, +1 to wound. Still very good, not stupidly good.
It goes from like an 86% accuracy to like a 50.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
But it balances in the fact that AP actually has, my Reapex has a lot of AP1 and all that shit. That's going to have an effect now on things.
Yeah.
It's not going to get a 3-up save anymore. My big laser is just going to nuke a tank now. You're not going to get a save anymore. If you're a 3-up,
yeah.
If you're a 3-up save, a tank's getting nuked unless you're like guard and you're at a 2-up or you're like shooting a whatever that has an invuln. It's not going to matter.
The invuln didn't care about the high
Exactly.
AP anyway.
We didn't care about AP anyway. So I don't think it's gonna. I think we need to play it out, see what happens. But it's going to be a change for the best. It's going to be less lethal. Put it that way. Everything in general is going to be a little bit less lethal.
I hope so. I don't know if it's going to be less lethal.
It will.
But the game is going to play differently, and that's fine.
Slightly differently. Did you want to talk about another thing with the movement shenanigans?
I
think we covered everything.
We covered all the scenarios I believe we talked about before the stream.
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys are wondering, let us know.
Let us know. If you have any questions.
Because
we do have a few questions in the chat.
Yeah.
I think we're more calm about it than a lot of people online. We immediately thought, what are possible scenarios? What's realistic in a game?
I've been playing this game since
this is going to happen.
2nd edition, and this happens every single time something drops that's new.
Yeah.
People go crazy, and it's worse now because of the internet.
Yep.
And everybody's in a server on Discord, and everybody hypes each other up, and then it becomes this shit show.
Downward spiral.
Don't break your armies. Don't start crying about stuff until you play it yourself. There's a million ways to change and watch some of the best players. Listen to Scary. You don't hear him complain about stuff. He's just like, I'm just going to do different things.
You saw me from 9th to 10th. I was doom and gloom about 10th. I'm like, oh my God, everything's going to be so different. The rules are going to be awful. It was fine.
Yeah.
Now, I think with more experience, I just see it and go, oh, it's just a bit different, but it's realistic.
I don't like catch-up mechanics, though. That I will always speak out against because
that is my biggest gripe with 11th right now. Everything else is fine.
But this I'm fine with. GW's doing a good job. Let them keep doing what they're doing to change the game up. What did you want to ask, Justin?
First question we have is from Nikita.
Nikita.
He's asking, do we think Horde armies are going to be really good in 11th?
Why? So I'm seeing a lot of that where people are like, I want to see Horde Hormagaunts, Horde Guard, Horde this. I don't think Hordes are going to be really any better because let's say Termagants. -1 ballistic skill or +1 to your cover save maths out to the exact same. You are just as safe as you are before. Recon Guard, I believe, is going to be way more oppressive due to them being able to stack multiple different buffs.
Yeah.
I don't think you want me to get into all that now. I don't want to rant about that.
I think Horde armies will be more prevalent, I think.
Well,
because shooting's not going to be as oppressive.
But now they don't get the better save because only armies that were 3-up really care.
But you're -1 to hit now.
But now you don't get +1 to save. It maths out to the same. Minus 16 in one, plus 16 in the
Depends
other.
on your armor save. Marines will be better in cover.
Marines are, yeah,
like
Marines against AP0.
Like MSU spam Marines is probably going to be pretty good.
Against AP0, Marine save is better now.
Yeah.
But for like Termagants, instead of hitting them on 4s and they save on 4s, now you hit them on 5s and they save on 5s. It's the same thing.
Yeah. You know what else got a slight boost?
Also, terrain is more open. If you touch the terrain, you're more visible now.
Yeah. You know what else got a boost? The 20-man brick of Necrons.
Yeah.
They auto get stealth now. You don't need to bring that extra character. There frees up points for Necrons.
No, it's not stealth. You still want stealth because it stacks with the cover.
Are you kidding me?
Minus 1 ballistic skill and then minus 1 to hit.
Those things are going to be -2 to hit?
Yes. Well,
That's so
minus 1
stupid.
ballistic skill and minus 1 hit. That's why I always clarify -1 ballistic skill. Cover's not -1 to hit. It's very different.
Oh my god. They're already a nightmare with a 4-up invo and -1 to hit.
That's why
and they respawn.
Imagine Recon Guard. -1 ballistic skill, -1 to hit, +2 to their armor save, and they can get all the -2 to charge.
I'm not saying things won't get reworked, but yeah, Nikita, I think you'll see a little bit more, at least early, you're going to see people playing Horde armies a little bit more. They're going to test it out for sure.
I think early on we're going to see more melee armies because everyone thinks melee is going to be amazing. I can't wait to prove them wrong.
Who does?
People are freaking the hell out.
They think melee is better?
They think melee is going to be very oppressive.
I don't think
They're going to be like very, very OP because you can't fail a charge. Oh, and you can walk through engagement range. Oh, you can do this.
No, you're not going to fail.
You're
not going to fail charges. Here, this is what I want to talk about, please, because it's pissing me off.
I mean, you had a good example before with the chaplain.
Here's here's 2 units, right? These guys are on the objective. This is the objective right here.
This is what you want to charge.
This is what you're here. You moved up. You're outside of 2. You want to charge here. Yes, technically, I cannot fail a charge here. I'm going to go into them and kill them. But I don't get to go where I want to go. And here you go. If I don't roll a 4-inch charge.
That possibly just failed there.
A 4-inch charge. I almost failed here. This is going to go here. Okay?
You're farther from your objective.
I can't get where I want to get. Technically, I don't. Do you have to charge if you charged?
Well, you roll it and then declare it. So you could see you.
And just say them and then they fail.
No, you don't even say anything. It's like you see here and you're just like, okay, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Like you didn't want to go this direction.
Right.
You wanted to go here. So you just go, no, I'm not moving.
Right, because you can also set this up. I'm just using models as an example. I know they're not with white scars. But I can set this up in a fashion where I'm like, charge here. Go ahead. And then you go there, you wipe this unit, and guess what? You free yourself up to get charged next turn, automatic, or get shot, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you can kite people in different directions. You can bait people to not fail a charge and go somewhere else. So just because you can't fail doesn't mean you're still achieving what you wanted to do. Because 40K is very directional on what you want to do, right? Like, I want to go here and score this secondary and this primary.
Stop you.
Going here does nothing. So what? You kill some Marines. You go into a tank or whatever. You get to get some attacks in because you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're going to put it onto your opponent that if you don't kill him, they're going to have to back up here and disengage if they want to shoot you. But like things like that are going to become more of a factor. But it doesn't mean that just because you can't fail a charge into another unit that you're still doing what you want to do in the game. Like, you're still not going to score your primaries and secondaries here. It doesn't accomplish anything.
I kind of have the opposite example, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember, it's like with advancing, just because you rolled a 6 doesn't mean you have to use the whole thing.
No.
Like, let's say these guys are 12 inches away out here, and you're here.
Yeah.
You roll a 12. Oh my God, I got a 12. I'm going to go as far as possible.
Yeah.
Well, you just zoomed yourself out of the game.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do, yeah, exactly.
So you're saying, like, here? Just because you got a 12 doesn't mean you now have to run away up to here.
No.
But that's what people are going to do. They're going to see they got a 12, get excited, and go the full distance.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to use the full distance. Go to where it actually benefits you.
Yeah, play the game properly.
But a lot of people are going to do that. I've done that before. I roll a 6 to an advance, and I move to a position I didn't have to.
It's gonna be a trial and error, right? New edition.
I think a lot of people are just thinking of everything in a void, and not what's realistic to the game. They're thinking about like, oh, I can do this. Okay, are you actually going to do that in a game though?
Well, on paper, everything's can look good, right?
Exactly.
It's the way it plays out. Also, you're also a lot of people are the way they're speaking is like you think your opponent is basically a pylon that you're just going to do exactly what you want them to do. People are going to adapt to the way the game is right now. Like I just showed you. Common sense. We play this game every day, all of us here. the first thing I'm going to do is screen differently. You're going to go like this. You're not even going to get to the things I want you to get to. If you're a world eater, you're not going to get anywhere you need to get.
Yeah.
Okay? So anybody that thinks a melee army is going to chomp them in 2 turns, it's not going to happen. They're not even. I'm going to literally play some world eaters players and show them that they're not going to get
That's
anywhere.
what I want to do as well.
You're not going to get anywhere you want to get to on the board.
I want to fight people who say shooting's dead and melee's OP and beat them with shooting.
No, I'm saying this right now, and I don't care what anybody says. You can clip this and send it to everybody. I literally think GW is going to bring back advance and charge because that's how shit world eaters are going to be.
Yeah,
I guarantee you they're going to get advance and charge back because that's how hard it's going to be for world eaters to get to where they want.
I think they're going to suffer.
I can screen the shit out of a world eater's army. What do they have? Like 6 units that can actually hurt you? Angron, if they bring them, you can screen that out easily.
Also, Angron's a big pie plate. Where's he going to land on the 2-inch engagement?
That's right, 2-inch engagement. It's not just world eaters. It's going to be any melee army that's on foot. Like anything Space Marine now, Vitrix Guard, you can make them go wherever you want.
Yeah. Also, you're not a perfect player, and your opponent's not going to make all the mistakes. Like, you will make misplays, and they will counter you. So you're not going to have the perfect scenario.
I really think melee armies that are on foot need to get, not a buff, but they need to get some things to help them a bit more to get to where they want. Because the shooting nerf is
minimal,
not as bad as what's happening with the movement phase.
Yeah, because Angron's a perfect example, actually. He already has fly. He already moves fast. So he doesn't care about the changes. But engagement range going to 2 inches screws him.
Engagement, okay. You can shoot.
It's just a straight up nerf to him.
This is GW. You can roll a charge first. That's why they released that first, so people have it in their mind now that that charging is going to be so good for melee armies. But then they're like, by the way, 2-inch engagement range, and we're rounding up now, not down. It's like the people are like, yeah, but we still get to choose where we want to go. We can kill. We never fail charge. Yeah, you're going to do great. We'll see you at the tournament.
Roll double ones and then you fail when you couldn't before.
So please do not worry about melee armies. You just play the game a few times, get used to 11th. We're going to be playing 11th at the...
On Monday, do you want to do 11th?
We'll do it on Monday.
Layout.
We'll do a 11th layout. We can use some of the rules.
And what else was I going to say with it?
It's not as bad as you guys think. Shooting will not be dead. Any other questions?
We have a few. When you guys were talking over there.
Sorry, we're just really excited about some of the changes.
Real quick, I think +1 or +2 inch to charge is going to get more common, so you will have unfailable charges.
There you go.
That's what I think.
Stuff like that will help out balance it.
Even +1 makes it unfailable now.
What's the question, dude?
So is melee? So do we think melee is going to get tweaked even more? Because some people are going to be concerned of seeing bucket loads of like 30+ dice being thrown at a time.
Well,
what do you mean?
That's assuming everyone can fight. It might get harder to fight. Yeah, due to piling all happening at once. You had that example. If one model survives, half your unit could be useless now.
Yeah.
So.
You mean because there's going to be more melee armies? Like a lot more melee units?
Melee can happen more often, and melee has a lot of attacks.
Yeah, that's what it is. Volume of dice from just being able to have the opportunity to get into melee easier.
I mean,
there's going to be more melee, yes.
That's assuming you make it to melee and don't lose anyone. You're not going to get your whole unit in.
Assuming that you want to charge a unit like this, just because you failed this one, I think it'll be fine. It's gonna be the same melee. There's not getting more attacks in melee, are they?
No. It's the same rules. I do think after the first month, like the first month's gonna be the honeymoon period for melee armies, where they think it's amazing.
They're gonna test it out,
and then reality is gonna hit.
Do people think melee is amazing?
Wow.
Show me. Honestly, show me. I would love to see it.
I think after the first month is over and people had time to play with it, they're going to see what we're saying, and melee's going to get less prevalent. I
think they're really banking on shooting being really bad.
That and just being able to make any charge they want.
And I love when World Eaters players or any full melee army say this, like, now you can't shoot me in the first, like when I'm stealth, I'm 15 inches. I can't shoot you in the first turn anyways. Like, when can you shoot people in the first turn?
Exactly. You usually couldn't shoot. If you're
You're hiding.
Yeah. When you go first, if you shoot something, your opponent fucked up.
Yeah. And another thing, when do World Eaters not hide?
Yeah.
Like, they're hiding the whole game.
If I'm shooting World Eaters, it's like within 10 inches.
Yeah. I'm coming to you to shoot you. You're going to get in melee with World Eaters. Now it's going to be even freaking harder. You're going to see screens like this in front of you. You're going to be going into shit you don't want to fight. You're going to get shot with crappier guns, but it doesn't matter. You're not going into things you want to go into. That's
going to suffer more than World Eaters? Custodes. They move 6 inches. Berserkers move 8. 8-bound move 10. And they're on bases that are like this big.
You know who's going to be really good?
Custodes are going to suffer.
You know who's going to be really good? Tau.
Yes. They even have one detachment that just ignores all hit modifiers.
It's gonna be so funny.
Yeah, people.
With the hit. No, I'm not.
I saw someone go like, "Tower could be useless in 11th edition."
What?
Effectively, army-wide ignores cover. Kion is ignore hit modifiers. Your
Lethal.
AP actually matters now if you're doing Monka.
Monka, yeah.
You like, even the AP 0 now matters into like 4-up armies.
Yeah.
Like, how are gonna be fine?
You will see more melee early for sure. People are gonna test the waters. But anything else?
One person says, "Don't gotta fight to base now. Just gotta be within engagement to fight."
Yes.
Yeah.
Wholly within engagement range, or just gotta be within range.
2 inches.
2 inches.
2 inches of engagement.
Corn berserkers can get 3 inches.
Corn can get 3. Yes.
Berserkers specifically, but you still have to make it to the fight.
You still got to get there.
You could still be screened, and if you, your example where
I think he's talking about that. Yeah. So like if they were like this and then this unit died and they can't pile, yes, they would have a farther engagement range, which is true. We're using world leaders as an example here. So yeah, like they'd have a 2 inch, so this guy would still get to fight, but he wouldn't.
Yeah, fighting's gonna be harder.
It's going to be more.
It's making me wonder: is the juice gonna be worth the squeeze?
The juice. You're going to it's going to be very important where you fight first. Not because you're going to get interrupted, because of the way chain of events could happen and where people can pull. Pulling is going to be very important how you pull your models, especially if you get multi-assaulted. You can literally just nuke a unit from even fighting. Like if it's a big unit like this, right? And I string it out like this, and you have here and here, right?
That guy charges there.
He comes here. These guys go here, right? Like, they make it in. You want to fight here? Sure. You killed 7 guys? Nice. Guess what? You can't fight anymore. You're stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Now.
It is similar to now.
That's why I'm like, things aren't going to be that different, as different as you think.
It's not similar to now. They can still get to pile.
Well, it's overrun?
No. Now, if this happens, right, and I pull you out, you still get to do your activation.
They get to pile in and then fight.
Yes. In 11th, you're stuck.
They already piled in.
They piled in already. You only get your second activation if everything's wiped.
Yeah, overrun rule.
And you're not within engagement. This is 2 inch engagement.
I'm a shooting army player, so overrun rule kind of went over my head.
Overrun, yeah, but I don't disagree with some of these comments. I'm not saying melee is going to be shit. I think it's just going to be a little bit harder to get where you want to get.
As a shooting army player, because I play a lot of shooting armies, shooting's fine, man. There's nothing. It's not that different.
No.
Mathematically, shooting is going to do the same damage without the rerolls.
Yeah.
Once you factor in rerolls, then it gets a little iffy.
Yeah.
But invulns don't really care about the thing too much.
No.
AP 1 cares about it.
Yep.
But if you're hitting one worse, you're saving one worse.
Just ask away.
One more comment we have is, what do we think about the detachment point system? No more Gladius spam, or are we going to keep seeing Gladius?
It's going to depend. It's going to depend. Like Anthony has an idea that he thinks all the old stuff is going to be on automatic 3. So you're just going to be able to do the old, Gladius or Blades of Ultramar as 1. And then some of the new stuff is going to have lower point
1, 2,
point
3,
1,
whatever.
2, so you can mix match. Kenny had a great idea. I don't even know if I should say it, because if that is able to get comboed, it's going to be so stupid.
Well, that's why I thought of some combos with guard where if they don't do it properly, imagine siege with recon.
Imagine Bellhammer with the uppy downy.
But siege with recon,
Yeah.
you give them stealth. They always have cover. They'll always be -1 ballistic skill. They'll always it's all this stuff where it's like you can't do anything.
No.
But that's why anything pre-11th, I think, will just be 3 detachment points.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about any unforeseen broken combos.
Yeah.
And it pushes you to use the new detachments.
The newer stuff that's going to be more
balanced
thought through and balanced to be worked together with. I don't think GW's thinking about the older detachments. They're going to just make them all 3.
Yeah.
If you want to run those, go ahead and you'll still see Blades of Ultramar. People are going to run them. It's just not going to get comboed with anything else. It doesn't need to get stronger than it is already.
It also means you won't have to change your playstyle too much to adapt to the new rules before you try the new detachments.
Right. So people can just be like, all right, I'm going to learn the new game first and
Using my old style.
use my old style and learn the new game, and then we'll worry about the new detachments. But I do think there will be a lot of 1s and 2s where you can combo. I'm hearing from a lot of people going 3 1s is useless. So
Makes sense.
most people are saying 3 1s is useless. We don't know how they're going to be doing stratagems, so I don't know how many you're going to get. You get to use all the strats from each detachment. Are they going to let you choose 1 from each, 2 from each? Who knows?
That's another thing. Imagine old stratagems with new stratagems.
That's going to affect the whole strength of comboing. I don't know if that's what your question is, but I do like the fact that you can kind of like soup. This is their version of like a soup detachment, I guess, where you can kind of customize and feel a little more. This is what I'll say about this. This is why I like it. You're going to see more diversity in combos. Now it's so simple. Like everybody runs Blades of Ultramar. Everybody does this for Tau. You're going to see more people being like, well, what about this combo? What about that combo? So I like it.
9th with Make Your Own Chapter.
I like it a lot more, yeah.
It reminds me of
to answer your question.
Gene Zero Cult. They had 4 points, and each detachment rule in 9th was worth a certain amount of points.
I just like seeing people's ideas. Like I like coming to a table and being like, why this with that? And like, oh, because I use this unit. It's just cool. And you learn a lot more about the game. There's a lot more variety. You're not playing the same freaking thing over and over. And then it's cool. And
then however you pick your primary detachment for the different missions.
Yeah.
You have 25 potential missions you could do.
Yep.
And it's gonna be different every time. That's nice.
Very nice.
There's a lot of things to look forward to. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is the secondaries.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to is the Discord servers.
I just avoid them.
Anthony's just like, I don't even go in.
I have one server I talk in about Warhammer now, other than ours.
Yes.
And they're all nice. They don't doom. They're just like, oh, look at this rule.
Be the positive light in 40K. Don't be those doomers. I think people are honestly just worried about their army more than anything.
Change is good.
They want it to be useful, right? But you don't know until you hit the table. But I'm telling you right now, screening's fine. Melee armies will not be as strong as you think. So don't worry. And shooting will take a little dip. I think it does need to. In most situations, shooting can be really oppressive in this game. Is that all the questions? Because we don't want to leave anybody hanging.
You got a couple more.
Just keep asking. It's fine.
Yes or no question. Both units get to pile in together before fighting, right?
Yes. Everything piles at once. Not only both units, not only these 2 units, but anything in your opponent's that's being charged can pile in to get the fight.
Okay.
The player whose turn it is goes first.
The player whose turn it is still goes first, yes.
How strong do we think fall back and shoot will be?
It'll be as strong as it is right now.
Why would it be any different than now?
Yeah, it'll be a strong fallback, shoot, and charge like Chosen. It's going to be as strong as it is right now. Very strong.
It's effectively the same, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
The big melee changes is getting into melee, not leaving melee.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to say that because like you can screw over a unit by staying there.
It's technically I would call it objectively worse than before in the sense of if you're in combat, fall back and charge.
Yeah.
You now have a chance to fail even if you stay 2 inches away.
You can fail. That's the thing now. You have to make a 3-inch charge, which is not impossible.
Even if it's only a 3% chance to fail, it's going to suck when it happens. But if you walk back 6 inches there, you would have failed.
Not 6. You don't walk back 6. He's saying just disengage, shoot, and then charge. Like my Chosen would, being charged here, I would disengage, shoot, and charge so I could fight. Yeah. I have a reroll charges on them. So
all right, next question we have here. So for more shooting armies, will it be more prudent to goad your opponent to move their units towards you in the first, second turn to attrition them out and then move into the objective, wiping them out as you go?
It completely depends on what your primary mission is going to be, what secondaries you have, what the opponent is, the map.
What your army you're playing, yeah.
It's always good to have bait units. Like when I play Tau, here's a Piranha against World Eaters. If you charge it, whatever charges it is going to die, and it's a 60-point unit for me. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of things are going to stay the same. Here's my bait unit. Here's the unit I counter with. Yeah. Here's the unit that does this.
From the playtesters that I speak to, and they're good players, they're world-renowned, like well-known players. The biggest thing GW has been one of the things GW has been trying to correct with WTC and like ITC competitive play when they took over is first turn. GW does not like the uninteractiveness of first turn. They think it's like what they're trying to do.
You don't want to.
They want you to shoot. They want you to move. They don't want you to be like, okay, you can't see me. Like they want you to freaking move your models out first turn. They want you to get out there, have fun, shoot stuff,
play the game.
And you're going to have to now because again, you're going to have to get within 15 inches. So you have to position yourself, especially if you're going to be a shooting army. You have to get yourself 1 turn ahead of the game now. You can't hide and stage turn 2 now. You have to get a little bit closer because.
To me, I don't think it's that different.
Yeah.
There is one scenario we missed.
It'll be a little bit different.
Walls.
Walls?
So you can fight through walls now. It's 2 inches, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do, I'm 1 inch from the wall, you can't charge me.
That's done, yeah.
What you can do is still stay 2 inches away, so they can't get the second line in. so that they can only get one, like
But
the first row.
if you go 2 inches, I can fit into the building.
Yeah, but like, you can't fit 2 models like this.
No.
You can't fit 2 ranks. Now you can only fit 1.
Yes, I can. If you're going to stay 2 inches back, that unit goes in the
Or
building.
you stay an inch and a half back, or whatever. Whatever makes it. There's ways to make it
different.
where
1 inch and a half it'll go to, yes.
you can't be unchargeable in front of the wall now, but you can be.
That base is what, an inch?
These are 32, I believe.
So an inch?
Just over an inch.
So you can't screen that out.
Yeah, no, it's just over an inch. So if I stay 2 inches away, you can't fit 2 of them, because that'd be 2.0.
No, but the
1.5
other
inches.
unit's going to be in the building and close enough to hit you. 2 inches.
No,
You're
I'm
not getting
saying
that?
if this unit wants to charge someone in the building,
Yeah.
they can't fit 2 ranks in front of the
Yes,
wall.
they can.
It's too big.
No. This unit, if you leave an inch and a half, this unit will get in the building.
Yes, the
And
front
then the
row.
next unit's going to touch the wall and fight you still.
No, because you're over 2 inches away. At that point.
No, you're only 1.5, you said.
Well, that's why you go 2 inches back.
Oh, that's
So only
okay, that's
one
fine.
rank. Only one rank can fight now.
That's fine.
So there are still ways you could play with the wall.
Doesn't it have to be 2.1 though?
2.0001.
It has to be
My bad.
more than 2 inches, yeah. No, actually it doesn't, because it has to be within 2 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or is it 2 inches on the dot? What is it wording? Is it within 2?
We're arguing over like a 1/10 of a millimeter.
It doesn't matter. That's going to make a lot of a difference.
Either way, you just stay 2 out,
Yeah.
2.001 out.
Yeah.
So that way they can, if for Space Marine bases, they can't fit 2 ranks.
But it depends. Is there an objective there? Then they come in on the objective. It's going to be situational. But yes, I agree with you.
It's just so you like 20 berserkers instead of
You
20.
can still screen, yes.
Instead of 20 fighting you, only 10 fight you.
Yes. Anything else? Just ask the most important question.
All right, the last important question we have for today is, what do we think of the new terrain?
What about it?
Like, you know, how it's done with footprints and all that, being
looks
official.
I'm not used to the setup of what they're doing yet, but it looks cool that you don't have to just play over mats. I kind of don't like that.
The mats will still be there.
The mats are still there?
There's still footprints.
No. I'm talking about circles.
Oh, those.
There's gonna be no more of these. No more of those. I like it because it's gonna be a little more thematic looking. I come from playing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th edition when there was none of this crap. So this makes it very like RTS feeling.
Expansion, natural.
Let's move all their buildings. We don't need these here. Let's not play with cool
You
terrain. Let's
still
just play with these
You
squares.
still technically can play without terrain. You just.
I know, but
that's any.
I mean, now you're fighting over a cool piece of terrain instead of with a footprint. Fine, make it competitive, like even.
What I like about it is it stops something like, say, a Dorn or this Storm Surge from locking out objectives.
Yeah.
Because this is a footprint, right? Okay, imagine I had a Dorn and it took up this much space.
Yeah.
You physically can't touch it without charging me. And
Yep.
you might not want to charge me.
Yeah.
But now the footprint is like this big.
Yeah.
So if I go like this, you still have over half of it to walk on
Yep.
and take it from that one vehicle.
Absolutely. Another thing to answer his question, or him or her, I don't know what the name is, but there's another thing I saw with one of the deployments. It was literally up to here,
Yep.
where the objective started. It was like a building that was like over here. There was a huge backfield here for deep striking, and GW's doing that for 2 reasons. It's going to make you take more models that are very inexpensive, like let's say scout units or whatever army you're playing, to screen out that back line. And they're going to force you to do that, or you're going to have to just be like, yeah, I have to put something important back here and not make them take my home.
That's another thing where it depends who I'm fighting. If I'm fighting a melee army,
Yeah.
I might be fine with walking up, because if they rapid ingress, it's open in the back. I can shoot them. If they don't rapid ingress, it's low odds of making it.
Yep.
If I'm fighting a shooting army, it's an 8-inch deep strike now, and I really want to screen that out.
Even if it's 3rd turn and I put a repex back there or something. You don't want that thing.
Eradicators are 180 for 6,
Yeah.
and they effectively get plus 12 damage from this jump.
Anything else?
Because you're now in multi-melter range.
Multi-meltas are in range
Oh, no,
now
they
from
only-
deep strike.
I think they only get 2 of them, so plus 8 damage.
It doesn't matter. They can get in range and shoot you. That's all that matters.
Did they ever talk about how do vehicles get cover?
No, they haven't. So vehicles, the way cover is going to work we know cover is going to be a -1 to ballistic skill. It's not going to be AP anymore, but they haven't talked about how vehicles get it.
It'll probably be similar.
It'll
to
be
now.
very similar. I can't see them going crazy different. It might be like, I don't know if they want to do an amalgamation of something a little bit older where you have to see like a certain percentage of the model. I don't think it's going to go to that level just because it's so streamlined the way they're playing 40K right now. I think it's going to be very, very similar.
Yeah.
It might with minor tweaks.
Yeah.
They might say something like you have to be part of the model has to be within the terrain feature. You have to become visible to get cover.
I'm mostly excited to see.
Like you have to be in the terrain. I don't know. It sounds weird, right? Like to make yourself visible, because someone said this. Like, make yourself visible, but you have to be in the terrain. You become visible.
But now you're -1.
But you're -1 ballistic, -1 to hit them, right?
Yeah.
So something like that, maybe. I'm just guessing though.
All right, next one we got is, how do you guys think charging will work for charging on second floors and beyond?
There's still probably gonna be 5-inch vertical.
Yeah, 5-inch vertical.
So
nothing's changing there.
You're safer on the ground.
You're safer on the ground, but plunging fire is a thing now.
And they've done it for some stuff like Deep Strike, where it's you measure the range from the ground horizontally, not like that. So
it's upwards, yeah.
You still would have to make that at least 3-inch.
Yeah, so if you go here and then the model's here, you go 5 up.
5 up, but you still have to make that like
3-inch movement, yes. Yeah, should be similar unless they make something drastic that we're not aware of.
They treat most measuring at ground level now.
Yeah.
Just because of stupid cheese.
Cheese and remember repulsor executioners sitting on top of buildings?
Not even that. It's
I hated those.
Was it 9th edition when the you can deep strike with the big dark Eldar thing?
Yes.
And because the nose was a certain way, it was actually an 8-inch charge from deep strike.
Which one?
Dark Eldar's like
oh, that, yeah.
Because, you know.
Yes.
Triangles.
Yeah.
It was an 8-inch charge instead of a 9-inch. Even though you were 9 away.
How did they work? Yes, that was old school. What else, Justin? Trying to answer the people's questions.
We keep getting more and more questions, which is good.
Yeah, we'll answer as much as we can, if we can.
With our experience.
In charging, you just need to land within 2 inches of a unit for it to be acceptable, right?
No.
No, you have to. So, okay, this is. I told you, people are getting confused with this because it's not your fault.
I need to start typing it up.
It's none of your fault because we read it ourselves.
It took
15 times.
It took me 4 bullet points to explain how charging works now instead of 1.
And Kenny, one of our teammates and very good rule guy, he said he had to read the overrun rule like 3 times to understand the wording. It's just GW's way of wording it. So this is how it works. 2-inch engagement means we know what engagement means. You can't end within your movement within 2, and you can fight within 2 inches. So anything that reaches here can fight naturally. So you don't even have to worry so much about basing anymore, because I can stay. I don't have to tippy-toe my second guy in anymore. These are really big bases. I'm not going to use these guys. Use this right here. I don't have to tippy-toe in my pylon and be like, this girl's touching this sister of battle, so she can fight because they're fighting through her.
They could be like this.
They can be like this and still fight. But it doesn't affect your charge range. Your charge range is still to the model if it's a vehicle without a base. Or if it's a base, you have to charge to the base.
Assume it's this guy.
This is what people were getting confused with initially, why we were explaining it to them in our Discord.
Vehicles are confusing. Let's use these.
Use that. So you have this. They're here. You have I'm going to make this very simple. Actually, let's use the new rules. 7.2.
Yeah.
What does 7.2 become, Anthony, now?
An 8.
All of a sudden, you lose 1 inch. World Leaders players will tell you that's not a big deal. But it is. So you're -1 to charge because you're above 7. So you're going to 8. It does not mean you get to land here and still be successful. So it doesn't go from an 8 to a 6-inch charge because it's 2-inch engagement. You still have to make it in. Engagement's only going to matter for fighting.
Yes.
And where you land at the end of movement.
How you do the charge distance is you roll 2 dice. I rolled a 7.
You fail.
I measure base to base.
Yes.
And I have to be able to make it to the base technically.
Yes.
That's your distance.
And 7.1 in the 10th edition would be a pass, but now we're rounding up, so you fail.
Because it's 7.2 and I rolled a 7.
I don't like this.
I'm 0.2 away from their base, and that technically doesn't count now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it to the base.
I don't personally like the rounding up. I don't think it makes sense because you're penalizing the charging unit. This is why I don't think melee is going to be as strong. You're penalizing the charging unit multiple times for no reason. Now,
if somebody else was 5 inches away from me, I can instead declare, okay, I'm going to that unit to charge.
Yes, you can redeclare. So they added that.
Basically, you roll, measure, and then see where you can go.
Yes. To answer your question, though, the 2-inch engagement range does not deduct from your charge. So a 6 doesn't become a 4-inch charge. It's still a 6-inch charge.
It specifically mentioned you're measuring base to base distance.
Yep.
But you only need to get within an inch to fight.
Yeah.
If you can make the charge, then it's 1 inch.
Yeah.
And then if you can't do 1
don't
inch,
over
it's 2
explain. Then it
inch.
gets confusing.
Yeah, don't
I'm
explain.
just
Don't
going
explain
through
it.
the
You're
bullet
making
points.
confusing me now.
No, I'm just going through the bullet
The
points.
next one is any chance flyers will get the same ability as plunging fire as Imperial Knights. And do you think Titanic will get that either?
Flyers? No way. Not for flyers.
Aircraft.
Aircraft? Oh, you mean if they're
I'm
in
thinking
hover
aircraft.
mode?
No,
That's
just
a-
airplanes
no,
going like,
like-
you know.
Like the Valkyrie.
I think that's a cool idea. Honestly, make them useful again. I want to see flyers in the game.
I don't think they
Here,
will.
plunging fire.
Because that knight over here will
Yeah.
get plunging fire.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll give it to aircraft because they just don't want aircraft at the table.
No.
So why would they buff them?
Yeah, we'll have to see. That's a good idea, though. I like that idea. I just don't
makes
know if
sense.
GW would think about something like that. It does make sense.
I just don't think they'll do it because they don't want aircraft on the table.
Yep. We'll
They've
do
been-
2 more questions. And that's all then. Perfect. Guys, come back. We'll be on in an hour and a half for a live stream. Whoever joined us, thank you. Hopefully we cleared up a few things. Don't be so worried about the new rules. It's not going to be that bad. Try it out. It's going to be fine. Anything you want to say?
Stop looking at everything in a vacuum,
A vacuum. Of,
like in a void,
Yeah.
and just we don't know everything
A
yet.
vacuum
Wait
of
till we have
space.
more rules.
Yeah.
Things will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Um,
Things will be okay.
You'll be fine. Join us at 8:30. Diogo's coming by. It's going to be Chaos versus Tau. And it's going to be fun. We'll see you guys later. Cheers.